One of the main benefits of working in a real-time environment is that I can adjust or manipulate my movable lights at any moment and see the results immediately. So right now in this scene, all I have is my HDRI backdrop. I have my directional light source. I have a point light, which is putting a little bit of light into this part of the scene. And I have two spotlights, which are sort of filling out the environment here. I can toggle these. But is there anything else that I want to do here? Do I want to add more color? Do I want to add a little bit more illumination? Or do I want to modify any of these? Because these were sort of existing when we created this environment to begin with. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I want to audition the directionality of this light source here. So I'm going to go back over here and let's just take a look. Let's see what happens when we start rotating this. I kind of like it a little bit more head on there. As you can see, it's hitting the rocks, which are making them pop, which in a way makes a little bit more sense because the sun is technically about right here based off this HDRI. Now, maybe it needs to be skimming just a little bit like that because it's cut off by the mountain ridge here. So, there would definitely be some element of shadow, but, not everything has to be motivated, right? I mean, we learned that when we do stylistic, aesthetic-based lighting. You have the general motivation, which gives us, the idea, but it's like, this is what filmmaking is about, right? It's all an illusion. So I'm just going for what looks the best to me. And right now, that seems like a big improvement over the original rotation of the directional light. Once again, loving the fact that, this is all immediate. I don't need to wait since all my lights are set to movable. So, there is the trade-off, of course. I'm not getting bounce light and I'm not getting, global illumination from this stuff. But it's all dynamic. It's all happening real time. It looks good enough for the level of quality I'm going for on this project. All right. Well, we tweak stuff like that. Do I even want to change the color here? Do I want to bring it a little bit more towards a neutral without getting so amber? Do I want to put some red, some purple into it? And I kind of like having this little bit more magenta in this light. This isn't Earth. This is an extrasolar planet. I don't know what sort of atmospherics are going on here. It's kind of nice. So, these are the subtle ways that you can start changing things on the fly. This is going to have a ripple effect. Like my storyboard is just a pencil sketch. Like I don't have any color values in that. So I'm sort of deciding these things on the fly here as I do this. And, once again, this is my workflow. This is what I like doing. I like sort of improvising at this point. I don't like improvising with my framing necessarily, unless I feel particularly inspired while, setting up shots and moving throughout the scene. But the stuff like, wholesale changing the color of the directional light, I like discovering things like that, like during the process. So one thing I want to adjust then and make sure is that my point lights now have similar values. So, I can just go into my light source here, I go in here and I can copy my hexalinear code. Just copy and paste that into my point light to make sure it's the same and I'm not doing anything too crazy. Now, do I want to add any sort of accents or flourishes in regards to the lighting here? I think that, even though it's not completely motivated, I'd like to add in some fill right here. I think it doesn't need to be that much, maybe just a tiny, tiny bit. I'll change it to movable, of course, whenever I add a light in. And maybe I paste that code in as well. Because the difference is that's it on, that's it off. It's just enough there to just fill this out a little bit more in a way that I like and sort of makes the frame a little bit more balanced.